Hi, my name is Jennifer Kim. I'm an attorney with Books Not Bars. We represent hundreds of family members across the state of California who have youth incarcerated in the Division of Juvenile Justice. For the past 7 years, we've been working to close the DJJ's abusive youth prisons in favor of alternatives. We're here today in strong support of the governor's proposal to realign juvenile services to the counties and close the DJJ. Since 2004, the state has poured more than $2.5 billion into the DJJ. What we have to show for it today is an astounding 81% recidivism rate. 81% of the time, the state youth prison system is failing families and California taxpayers. We believe we can do better. I'd like to share 3 key recommendations from our proposal with you today. First, the creation of a temporary realignment committee made up of stakeholders who can facilitate the realignment process. Second, we recommend establishing a modest, independent State Office of Juvenile Justice that will provide leadership, oversight over funding, and technical assistance to counties, as well as encourage regional strategies to address any gaps in capacity. And lastly, in order to discourage the overzealous prosecution of youth as adults, we recommend charging counties a fee when youth are discretionarily charged in the adult criminal court system. With strong leadership, oversight, and resources, we believe that counties can succeed where DJJ has failed and will continue to fail. And as you continue to discuss the gaps in county capacity, the one true and certain thing is that the DJJ is a failure. It has failed and it will continue to fail. If public safety and saving taxpayer money is your concern, DJJ is not the solution. We can't continue to invest in a known failure because we are afraid of our potential to succeed. We brought with us a petition signed by about 950 Californians that support realignment, as well as letters from some family members who weren't able to make the hearing today. Thank you for your time.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon. My name is Lourdes Duarte Bailey. I am a parent of 3 kids. My youngest one was incarcerated in California Youth Authority. I'm here to testify and give testimony of what CYA have done to my family, the worst thing that ever happened to my child, being sentenced to Youth Authority. I wanted to let you know that there should be more investigation and go to the sources to find out how these kids are really treated. I can write a book about my son, my experience, which eventually I will do because there is so much dirtiness and corruption in this system. My son, at one time, got assaulted, jumped, and got hurt. This is a kid that is not, I didn't raise a criminal, first of all, okay? I believe that 99% or 0.7 whatever parents raise children. I would have loved my kid to be like you guys, sitting right there making 3-digit salary, respecting the law, doing something as a good citizen. I have 2 good kids, if you want to call mine, the last one a bad kid. My son is also mentally ill. When Kevin McCarthy sent my son, the judge, to Youth Authority, I trust him. I really thought that my son was going to get rehabilitated. I am the ex-wife of a lieutenant of San Francisco PD. So I know about the law. I know about being saved. I know how everything works. But when our son went to CYA, it was a totally crude awakening. I see the other side of the system that is not what everybody is picturing in here. At one time, my son had a tooth pulled, and he needed a Tylenol. It took him 2 days to get a Tylenol. Another time, my son, when he got assaulted, got punished and sentenced for 5 months in solitary confinement. How can you do that to a child that is only 16 years old? So on my behalf of all those mothers that cannot be here, because not all those kids that are there are Ted Bundy. They're not killing senators. They're not throwing bombs in Oklahoma. A lot of those kids are ill, have a lot of problems. And as a citizen, I pay taxes. I've been working since I'm 17 years old. So, hey, I would like to see my taxes to go to rehabilitate these children. Come on, we're ashamed to the world. We're a disgraced nation. Maybe we should get in touch with our neighbors in Canada, Australia, what they do. I come from family, not criminal families, as you want to call it. My father was an attorney who defend people. And he used to say, you have to get to the sources of how these things start. Well, God rest his soul. I lost my father last year. I have family that have been working as a guard and left because of the corruption, because they do have a code of silence. If you want to do good, you can, because, hey, you got to follow the culture. There is no solution for the youth authority. The only solution is to shut it down, and let's use my money and everybody else's money that we pay taxes to save the children, because those are our future. And please go into your conscience when you sign whatever you have to sign. I'm sorry I got so over emotion, but this is a very touchy subject.
Thank you. Good evening, State Senators. My name is Joaquin E. Diaz de Leon, and I was in CYA 3 years ago, and I'm here with Books Not Bars. I paroled in March 4, 2008. I am outraged with the DJJ state system and encourage legislators to shut down these dysfunctional institutions and allow counties to be responsible for the youth in DJJ. When I was in DJJ, I realized that it was a replica and stepping stone to adult prison, now being operated by CDCR. Inside this prison, officials only exercise power and control, warehousing us, not rehabilitating us. I first got to Preston Youth Correctional Facility, and what was presented before me was ridiculously devastating. There was no resources available to correct me and build me up to be a productive member of society. Instead, DJJ allowed us youth to stay dismantled as the homes and communities we come from. You don't allow an abused youth to be treated with tear gas, harmful mace, and unnecessary force. These youth are not adults and learn by what they see, and guards, not counselors or treatment professionals, dealt with me. That lack of care and rehabilitation in DJJ is why 8 out of 10 youth will recidivate while staff are well paid and youth are discriminated and segregated. With education, I remember how the priority was in DJJ. We had outdated textbooks and information from decades ago. And in a country with schools like Harvard, I once heard that a child can grow up and be the best that he can be. But for people like myself from broken communities, the expectation is to wind up in broken prison complexes because I'm worth more incarcerated. We all need an equal opportunity, and the counties need to be accountable and use the funding the state has wasted to provide real resources that will reduce crimes and victims instead of segregation in box-like institutions. We youth are the future and need our state leaders to honor us and to support our communities.
Thank you.
By shutting down these inhumane institutions filled with terror and corruption. So please stop the harm that is going on as I speak in DJJ by shutting down DJJ and providing the funding within community-based organizations and faith-based organizations in the county, because the fact remains that hurt people will hurt people. And we all want to talk about these laws and harsh punishment, but these people, to the point that they have the revelation that they want to change and that they see the right and what their potential is possible of, like the United States stands for, they will not change, and only incarceration will lead to them getting back out and doing the same thing, creating more victims that we do not want. But we have to tackle this problem and carefully, deliberately deal with it instead of just putting people aside and segregating them.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lena Vargas, and I came from Southern California. Just brief, short story. My son's 15 years old, and he's been in Chad now. They have him bouncing around from different places, and he was at DJJ in Norwalk, and my son's not a fighter, and 6 gang members piled up on him, and nobody was around he had to yell out to help me, because they were hitting him. And now my son's in Chad, and because of what happened in Norwalk, he's suicidal. So I just want you to reconsider and looking into those kind of places and try to keep young ones safe.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Senator Cedillo. Jim Lynn